Yo, what is good, my Quick Crypto family and my Coin Factory family? We're back again with another daily Casper and crypto live stream, and as we are speaking right now, we are witnessing a rug pull happen in real time. Mantra, ticker OM, has just dropped over 90% in just a couple of hours. It was above $6 and now it's down to 58 cents. This is absolutely nuts. Absolutely insane. Now, I'm not too well versed with Mantra. It's not an asset that I particularly held or looked into, but this is outrageous. So I'm going to cover a little bit about Mantra, ultimately my 2 cents on what's happening right now, and ultimately why I believe decentralization is of the utmost importance, because therefore this could not happen. I'm going to be getting some of the recent developments with crypto as well, the stuff that is causing the markets to correct today. Right now we can see Casper is currently down 5.58% on the daily time frame, valued at 7.32 cents. Everything's looking a little bit bearish right now. This rug pull's not helping in that regard, but that's not the reason why. Again, it is tariffs. And then we're also going to get into a little bit more FUD in regards to Casper and seemingly how everybody is selling right now. It's going to seem a little bit doom and gloomy, but trust me, you know me, I'm going to still bring you daily Casper and crypto FOMO. I still, despite the market sentiment, have a very positive outlook on this market and on Casper in general. But we're going to cover the news anyway because it's still important to know what's happening, so you can then, as yourself, as your own investor, allocate and position yourself accordingly. With that being said, hopefully you're all having a very good weekend so far, and welcome back to Daily Casper and Crypto Logic. Welcome back to the channel. First and foremost, welcome back everyone to the channel. Devious me, my man. First, welcome back, brother. You too, Lau. Kryptoni. No way. Yeah, absolutely no way. This is outrageous, truth be told. It is insane, no doubt. I'm so happy I didn't invest in that. I actually thought about it. I mean, I heard a lot of people talking about Mantra. I really did. I didn't invest into it personally, but I heard a lot of people talking about it. I think it was a top 20. I don't actually know where it was. I mean, look at market cap right now. Market cap was about 6 billion. You know, literally 2 hours ago, 6 billion. It peaked at 8 billion. So if you look at that in regards to the crypto market right now, 8 billion would have put us, in the top 20. 6 billion would have put us at 20 exactly. So it was a top 20 asset. And now it's rug pulled. And it's now down at number 85 and it's continuing to drop. So we're going to get into this in a moment, because this is actually, despite it's not Casper news, this is extremely important to cover because it's a big asset that's just rug pulled. And we're going to get into a little bit of why it's happening. I can't exactly explain the ins and outs of what's exactly happening, but I have a feeling it's due to insiders and tokenomics, because no other reason why it rug pull, to my knowledge at least. And then we'll also correlate that to why, again, it's so important to be holding assets that have true decentralization so it can avoid the potential outcome. Welcome back, Free Breaker Man. Hope you're doing very well as well, and having a great weekend so far. So that being said, we will get into the Casper news and crypto news, but first and foremost, I want to cover Mantra, because Mantra by no means is a small project, or at least it wasn't. So you can see from posts all over the community. Actually, shout out to Toggle, I believe it was. Was it Toggle? Let me quickly just double check through my community. Yes, it was Toggle. Toggle put a post in about an hour ago showcasing that Mantra had dropped from $6 billion market cap down to 1.8 billion, and now we can see it's come down further to a 400 million. It's continuing to drop drastically. Everybody is taking out their Mantra, which is insane. We've seen a massive rug pull. Mantra rugged another coin that was listed on Binance, and I mean, point being said, exchanges they know, like, they can manipulate the price of tokens, but it once more just proves that, while big listings are important, it doesn't protect you by any means. Just because you're listed on Binance and Coinbase doesn't mean that you're protected from potential rugs. Mantra was a top 20. It's not as significant as Terra Luna, and honestly, thank God, because if it was a Terra Luna sort of situation and that got rug pulled, you could have seen a repeat of what happened in the last cycle. And that would be disastrous. Mantra was not as big, thankfully, but it still was a big asset and worth covering. It's ridiculous. Wait, is this true? Yes, it is. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely insane. So I don't know the ins and outs exactly what's caused the mantra. I can do a quick search now, just typing in $OM and see what comes on Twitter. Probably everyone just talking about the rug pull. Literally just rugged and closed their Telegram. Wow. The last message was someone calling it Terra Luna, and then the whole Telegram just disappeared. This is insanity because it reached billions and was the number one real world asset. I mean, so yeah, I mean, again, that's just a post from this individual here. He's got 4,000 followers, you know, so you have to take, you know, what you hear with a grain of salt. It's not confirmation by any means, but according to him, the Telegram for mantra, the last message was someone calling it Terra Luna, and then it just disappeared. And it was the number one real world asset. If we go to CoinMarketCap and we go into the real world asset section here, we can see all the assets that are clarified as real world assets. Right now it's Chainlink, but originally before Chainlink it was Mantra. Mantra is all the way down here now. It's just dropped out of top 100. It's capitulated, it's collapsed, it's crashed heavily. So that is absolutely insane for Mantra to come down so heavily. And my only thesis, and you know, I made the thesis on this, my prediction is based not just on, I mean, seeing this is, you know, one thing entirely, you know, whether it's true or not, we don't know. Everyone's just kind of talking about how it's come back, but no one's giving examples of exactly what's happening right now. No one's giving a reason for why. Seems the Mantra team were holding a large amount of supply. So yeah, we can see that here. Look at the tokenomics, right? You have 41% to legacy Mantra tokens. Now, what that means, I don't exactly know, but I'm guessing some form of pre-allocation. You've got upgrade incentives, 14%. Core contributors, so those who are, you know, the insiders again, 14%. Inflation staking rewards at 10%. Mantra chain association, 7% almost. The pre-seed, 4%. The mainnet seed, 4%. The Genesis airdrop and incentivized testnet, so you can argue that's for the community, 2%. And then ecosystem is 1.8%. Now, I cannot properly, because what exactly is clarifying to the actual community, I can't attest to. But from what I can see right now, I'm seeing, what, max 10%. And that's being generous here. Max 10% was for the community. Otherwise, over 90% of Mantra supply was from insiders and from the team. The number one biggest real-world asset has just rug pulled right before our eyes. That is insane. That is terrible. And again, thankfully, it is not Terra Luna in the sense that Terra Luna was, I believe it was a top 5. It was. I think Terra Luna was, from what I can remember, obviously it was last cycle, and it all happened so quickly. But I believe Terra Luna was a top 5 crypto asset at the time that Terra Luna collapsed and rugged. And we're seeing Mantra, you know, go through that as well, which is insane, especially considering the current market. So this will also further add to the FUD that's currently going on right now. It's one thing if a small asset rugs. If a top 20 and number one real world asset rugs, that is disastrous. So Mantra's come back. Currently he's got $421 million market cap. If we refresh again, we can have a quick look to see if it's updated at all. Currently down 90% in one day. All time, it's still technically up, but I don't think it's going to last very long, much longer. And again, this highlights two important factors. One, max supply is infinite. It's just money. It's the current fiat system in crypto form. There's no max supply, so they continue to print more and more should they choose to. The total supply was 1.18 billion. Circulating supply was 969 million. And that's only up so high right now because everyone keeps selling more and more. It's being dumped. So this to me is disastrous, but it's also me trying to highlight the importance once more of true decentralization. Because there is literally, and I mean this in its entirety, of course, it's got to be an element of trust, or maybe not trust is the right word, because it's hard to trust anyone besides yourself. But this is for me the importance, the inherent deep importance of not decentralization, true decentralization, because everything in crypto claims decentralization. But from a standpoint right now, the only assets that are truly decentralized are ones that have been fair launched, that had no pre-mining, the proof of works. All the proof of stake assets have pre-allocations, have VCs backing it. Ethereum even that, when it transitioned to proof of stake, they're not decentralized either now. So what's seen with Mantra, which is not a small asset, could very, very easily happen to any other asset in this space. Should there be misintentions at play, which evidently Mantra decided to rug everybody, because there's no other reason for doing so. I can even see if I can type in Mantra on Twitter and see if they made a post themselves. I can't type. Mantra Network. Let's have a look at Mantra Network. Last post was on the 10th. Markets move. You don't have to. Lock in dual yield Mantra rewards now. Don't get fooled. This is the end of the message from Mantra Network. With the increasing amount of impersonators pretending to be Mantra Network for bad intentions, we are prioritizing the safety of our community. Well, that's ironic. Please double check the X handles and avoid clicking any links from messages below this one. That is very ironic, considering they've just completely dumped on their whole community now. So this is absolutely insane stuff. I don't really know what more to say from that. Mantra has just dumped on absolutely everyone. And it's crazy as well, because Biddle, which is, I believe, BlackRock's institution, BlackRock's AMM they're making. Biddle is building on Mantra as well. So yeah, Mantra was by no means a small project at all, and it's completely gone to zero. I'm speechless, because this is just highlighting once more the inherent risk and worry of everybody in this space. When you haven't got true decentralization, this is completely possible. Will it come back following this? I don't know. I don't see why it would. The problem is, again, it's lack of transparency. It's rugged. A big project's rugged, come down 92% in a day, in 2 hours, and we have no explanation as to why. It's just capitulated. And yes, and I just, before I get into some of the other news, because also we've got some more Casper FUD as well. But the thing for me is, the chances of something like this happening for Casper is effectively impossible, because Casper is truly decentralized, same way as Bitcoin. And due to its true decentralization, nothing's impossible, but it's extremely difficult for the top holders to coordinate an attempt to completely dump Casper on everybody else as well. And even if you did, the top holders, they amount, and the top holders being the top 1,000 addresses, they amount to 57.7%. We just highlighted that Mantra tokenomics was at least 90% to insiders. So comparatively, Casper, even then, don't get me wrong, if 57% dumped on everybody, that could very much destroy Casper, as anything could. But even then, in terms of distribution, Casper is still one of the most decentralized there is. But this is absolutely insane to see Mantra come back so drastically. Such a huge project just taking a complete nosedive. And it's just, yeah, you can see right now, I'm almost repeating myself, because I am honestly speechless and very surprised. You know, on Binance, on OKX, on Bybit, on multiple crypto.com, everything bar Coinbase from the looks of things, multiple massive exchanges. A team that was working alongside BlackRock seemingly as well, and it's gone to zero. That's Mantra. The very same thing can happen to every other proof of stake project in this space that has centralization, that has pre-allocation to the insiders, the employees. When you're a centralized entity, that can always happen. Everything here has that potential. I'm not necessarily trying to fearmonger you, because even at this point in time, I still hold assets like XRP, like SUI, like C, and some other ones here and there as well. I still hold them purely because the capital I have in them, should it rug, would I be frustrated? Of course I would, but it wouldn't. I wouldn't be too. I'm not too emotionally invested into those assets. But I do the potential for those assets to start rallying in this cycle based on their partnerships and also for what they're building. Saying that, Mantra has also just gone to zero, so I guess, you know, anything can happen. It's basically what I'm trying to highlight here as well. But Solana could very easily go to zero. XRP could very easily go to zero. Every asset in this space effective that I'm scrolling past right now has some of VC backing, institutional insiders, pre-allocation. It was not fair launch, and that inherently means it could be liable to seeing what happened to Terra Luna, what happened to Mantra just now as we speak. The only ones that I know are completely quote-unquote safe, and the chance of this happening is very, very small, is Bitcoin, because it's decentralized by launch, and Casper, because equally is a fair launch proof of work with no pre-allocation to developers or miners. That's one of the biggest things for me for Casper. What Casper's building in and of itself is innovative, and I love what they're building, and I'm very optimistic for their future as well. Despite the fact that people are selling Casper right now, and I'm going to get to that in a moment just now, I'm not worried about Casper, because the biggest thing that attracts me to Casper is its decentralized nature, which just purely means that the chance of it coming to zero, the risk to reward for me for Casper is a lot lower than any other project in this space. That there is always a possibility that you can see a rug pull like Mantra. So I'm going to probably come back full circle to talk about this again for those who are joining a little bit later right now. Welcome. 100 people watching right now is insane. Thank you so much everyone for joining once now. And we're going to do a little bit of Casper news right now as well. For me right now, and I do agree with this post here from Tom, Casper the Perfect Storm is coming. You've got the Crescendo update on May 5th, which is about 20, 21, 22 days from now. And then just 2 days after that, the Fed meeting will be happening, the FOMC meeting, to which there is a good possibility of rate cuts. We saw a post from WatchUGuru recently, when I find here, WatchUGuru, where he confirmed, and again this is based on what he says here, that a top Fed official, where is it? Top Fed official says the Federal Reserve is ready to help stabilize the market if needed, which therefore means should they need to, because tariffs cause so much disarray and market capitulation, they can start printing money and start cutting rates. So there's a good possibility that Crescendo will be going live in and around the time we start seeing rate cuts. And of course, rate cuts are viable now. Inflation's coming down. Jobs are going up. Two of the biggest factors that determine what the Fed are going to do with the economy and how they're going to take action. We're in a better position now than we were. Despite the markets not looking like that, the economy as a whole actually is in a better position right now than it was. In regards to the indicators at least. Inflation down, jobs up, that's good. Markets are down, yes. But that's because people as traders are emotional based on the tariff news. Which, truth be told, it's not getting much better right now. We'll get to that again a little bit later on. But I do agree with Tom here that I believe a lot of good things coming. A perfect storm is coming for Casper. What's coming will cause bullish price action in the markets to return to see Bitcoin and quality altcoins making a final run. You're going to see like tier 1 exchange listings most likely come through as well. Smart contracts developments coming around, May, June time as well from my predictions. And a lot more coming as well into Q3 as well, with that seemingly being the market top indicators following regulatory clarity and frameworks coming to America as well. And we'll come full circle again, because, a bit disoriented in this stream right now, but stay with me right now. We've got this one here, which leads up to the other bit of FUD in this stream right now. It seems like every early Casper quote-unquote influencer has sold most of their coins at this point. Now they post bearish content hoping to accumulate at the lower prices. Their private groups have no Casper exposure. It would be a shame if Casper wanted a huge run without all of them. And this is the current truth of the matter we're in right now. Back when Casper was at 20, even 18 cents, even here, back in the end of December when Casper was up here, there was still a relatively sizable amount of people still talking about Casper. I don't need to list the names. I'm going to list one name because this is what we're talking about today, does correlate to this individual here as well. But I don't need to list the names. Everybody knows or has a name in their head of who we're referring to. There's quite a lot of people who are very bullish on Casper talking about it consistently, and now they very rarely talk about it. I don't know what their private groups are doing, but I'm sure it's quite similar there as well. Me and my private group, we talk fundamentally about the institutional sentiment and alpha information and what they're talking about. We had a very, very huge live stream that happened earlier today with our VIPs there. But at the same time, while we talk about that, we do actually still correlate to what we're seeing from institutional sentiment into Casper as well. Because I still believe in Casper. Fundamentally still, I still believe in Casper. Despite the price correlation, I have no reason not to believe in Casper right now because there's still so much more coming into it. But okay, now come back full circle for that. So a lot of people right now who have now faded Casper. This comes off the back of Jim. And Jim is renowned for being one of the, I mean, he's got Casper in his bio. He's renowned for being one of the biggest Casper content creators, or influencers, if you will. So Ski Bum Trading says, I could see the next Bitcoin liquidation cascade bringing it close to 60k. So ultimately he's got a bearish sentiment right now, which I have seen and heard a lot of people saying 60k Bitcoin, and again, it's definitely possible. I'm a little bit more optimistic right now than that, I personally believe, but again, I'm just basing it on the fundamentals, and I'll come back into that. But yeah, this individual here replies saying your Casper screwed up, and he replies saying, good thing I sold a lot of it last year. I still have a moon bag, just in case, but it's the only way to play this phase of the cycle as far as I'm concerned when the risk is high. And of course, the guy said, I've been following you for over a year, almost 2 years now. I didn't see you post about selling Casper, so where have you done that? And he said that's what it's Discord servers for. So, and that's also part of the truth as well. A lot of people who were Casper content creators and influencers, if you will, KOLs, they were either, some of them have announced it publicly, but a lot of people also have just quietly faded Casper. And that, again, is the inherent problem of the whole trust people thing as well. And there is a post here from Casper Door, which, you know, I completely agree with, you know, about the whole debate of people selling Casper right now. This is purely off the back of Jim as well. And this is my sentiment on this whole situation as well. No one is trying to help you. Literally no one. No one cares on what you are doing. If they've said, I sold, and you would have done the same, but the market went in the opposite direction, who's to blame? You're the only one responsible and accountable on your own actions. Stop doing what others are doing. Don't buy in huge pumps and sell in large dumps. And I agree, right? Me as a KOL YouTuber right now, of course, I am kind of in this whole crossfire as well. And again, this is a trust me bro thing here. But I can say with complete honesty and conviction that I've not sold my Casper. Again, you have no way to prove that. But all I can say to you is I promise you I've not sold my Casper. I'm still very bullish on Casper. I mean, guys, you watched my last video. Video that I posted just yesterday. I'm still making Casper content right now. I'm still optimistic for Casper. I'm not just fake ball posting. I do believe in Casper still from this point right now. That's not changed at all. And I believe a lot of big things are coming through in the next few months. If I get proven wrong, I get proven wrong. And I'll, you know, come out and say, okay, maybe I was wrong about Casper. But I have no reason to believe that right now. Zero at all. There's so much coming through it. What they're building is so innovative and so transformative that I haven't reason to believe Casper's going to do nothing. It's had bad price action. So what? Everything has. Mantra's rugging. You know? It's not just Casper. Now, one thing that Jim does talk about here, so I'm not going to get into the whole nitty gritty of it, but he talks about the fact, again, he had a moon bag, but he has de-risked. And I do think that is smart. If you are finding it emotionally tasking to hold crypto in this current cycle, which is completely fair because tariffs are screwing everything up. Tariffs itself aren't the problem, but the investors are treating tariffs as the problem. So tariff headlines now cause market corrections. But, you know, technicalities aside, de-risking is always something that a trader should take into account. If you've got too much capital invested into something and you don't like it and it's coming down, de-risk, hold stables, or go somewhere else. Perfectly fine. Nothing wrong with that. Jim's not sold all his Casper, but he has sold a sizable portion of it because he was de-risking. And truth be told, I would not be surprised if he starts, you know, DCAing back into it when the market starts to rally up again as well. I would personally do it a little bit earlier, but again, you're your own investor. And I highlight it time and time again, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just some guy on the internet talk about I believe in crypto and Casper. You should always trade at your own discretion and you should always do your own research. Of course, I can help provide a collective community and space for everyone to talk about it together. Your love or hate for Casper, completely up to you. Again, I have no problem if you love or hate Casper. It doesn't bother me in the slightest. I just want some real, you know, news or real fundamentals, some real fact or proof that can, you know, support your claims for whether it's belief or FUD against Casper. That's what this channel here is about, research. Of course, speculative content comes into here and there as well, but I can talk speculative while backing it with my research to try and make it sound logical, as opposed to just fear-mongering and just being bearish, or again, vice versa. But yeah, Jim's de-risk, fair enough, right? And I do agree here. Again, you have the KOLs that are here to effectively just pump you content, to let you know what's going on in space right now. But should you make investment decisions that should be complete to your own decision, you should not buy or sell anything because somebody tells you to. At most, it should bring your attention to something, and then you make you're a big boy or girl, you're a big person. Do your own decisions at the end of the day. But this is currently, yes, we're seeing a lot of influencers, Jim being the most recent one that's getting a lot of attention right now, who reported privately to his Discord community that he's de-risked from Casper, saying he's, sidesteps onto the Casper here, selling 50% of his original bag. He might sell more by now, who knows. And does that suck to see? Yes, of course it does. That's going to cause more bearish sentiment in Casper as well. Me personally, I do also deem this as just noise. I really do. And if my PC's been terrible today, truth be told, I think it's Google Chrome acting up, because I'm trying to load up Casperlytics and the website's not loading at all. And it's still not loading right now. And I don't know what's going on right now. I think I need to restart my PC or something. But my whole point of what I was just going to show you to everyone here is just, when you go on Casperlytics, actually it looks like the serverless function is timed. So it looks like there's something wrong with the website itself right now. But the whole premise of what I was trying to look for is you go on Casperlytics right now, or you can't right now, but you go onto it and you look at the inactive supply, so those who've been holding and just leaving it in a cold storage. Those numbers are either nearing all-time highs or surpassing all-time highs. The 3-month supply, the 6-month supply, the year supply, the 2 and 3 year supply, they are all either reaching all-time highs again. A lot of from what I remember, because I talked about this earlier in my VIP group, we did our roundtable there. The inactive supply in the 3 and 6 month period was at all-time highs here. And then it came down, and then it started making a recovery here. And then the next 3 months here, while it's coming down, that supply has remained inactive. So right now, the inactive supply is actually reaching all-time highs again, because people started buying back here again. And then in the 3 and 2 year, it's just been running up continuously. So people who have been holding Casper, it's still going up. And we can see even the holders right now, we're at 519,000 holders. So the holders as well are still increasing. So sentiment in Casper, while the big KOLs are leaving, and it makes sense once again, to an extent, right? Especially if you're a content creator on YouTube. As YouTuber, you typically want to talk about what's popular, because that's, ad revenue is money. And, that's even partly why I'm starting to diversify a little bit myself. I'm talking a little bit about Sui and even just general market videos. But I still talk about Casper because, A, my community, you guys are awesome. And I love you all, and I want to keep making content because I also believe in Casper as well. And I do believe that the hard work that we are doing to continue learning about Casper will pay off in the coming months when the price does reverse. I still believe, my personal belief, not financial advice, do your own research, I still believe that Casper is due for a rally very soon because of the big incoming developments, macro-wise and also Casper-wise. The perfect storm for me, I agree, the perfect storm is coming for Casper. So, big KOL selling, is that disastrous? Yes. Should you send them hate? No. I don't think you need to. And again, that's me personally. And but saying that, I'm not blaming people for sending hate. But at the end of the day, he's his own person. He's doing what's best for him. So you should tread at your discretion. And him de-risking, and even if he sold his whole bag, I don't think he sold his whole bag from what I can see. He just de-risked. Yeah, he sold a lot, not all of it. He sold the moon bag, so he's not sold all of it. And it does suck to see. It does suck to see that. But at the end of the day, I haven't got a problem with that at all. People who've de-risked, that's perfectly fine. And there's been a lot of people who've de-risked from Casper. Jim is just one of a long list of names that I'm not going to get into because A, I don't know them all, and 2, I don't need to out everybody. I think everybody knows the people who've de-risked anyways. Or even sold their entire bags, and that's perfectly fine. All I can say for those people is I wish you luck, and should Casper rally up again, which I believe it will do, I just pray these people don't regret it. But also expect that when the price does rally, in my belief, they're going to make content about Casper again because it's what's popular and it's what's going to get the views. And they'll get views because they are big influence in that regard. But yeah, and Casper Door here is in a similar state to me. Of course, he's part of the Casplex team now. He's a very, very ingrained member in the Casper community here, and he equally, like myself, has never sold Casper. Actually, he did sell with one critical exception, and that was 1 year back, and I rebought since then. So he did sell a little bit a year back, and he's rebought since. Now, me personally, I haven't actually sold a single bit of my portfolio. And you could argue that might have been stupid, because Casper's come back down 70%. I could have taken out, de-risked, and then bought the dips. But I haven't. I've just been DCing consistently. Is my average high? Yes. Do I care? No. because I do see a strong chance of Casper rallying from here. And I've been able to still allocate my extra dry powder into other projects should I choose to hopefully hedge my bets. But of course, trying to pray that we don't get a repeat of what's happening to Mantra right now, with Mantra again capitulating. Casper is in a very strong position right now. Kryptoni with the $10 donation, my man, that was insane. You did a donation yesterday as well. That's absolutely insane. Thank you very much, my man. No, brother, Casper cannot be rug pulled. There is no liquidity to drain. There are only buyers and sellers for Casper. For a sale that happened, a buyer and seller must agree on a price and amount. I mean, yeah. And the fair law nature of Casper also makes it incredibly hard for it to even be possible to rug pull anyways. If you have a load of insiders, then yes, you can sell. Because the insiders can just dump it all on your heads. But Casper hasn't got any insiders. They've got a group of people, the developers, who are just passionate about making development and stuff for Casper. They haven't got insiders. They're not insiders at all. It's fair laws completely with Casper. And that's why, again, Casper for me is... Well, what's coming to Casper in and of itself is innovative and truly, truly game-changing. And I'm very excited for it. Very excited for it. And there's a lot of, again, the speculation right now, which I made in my video yesterday, that Grayscale actually may be preparing for a Casper listing as well, which you can actually even send a message to Grayscale asking why it's been removed from asset under consideration, which will you get a response? Probably not. But again, you could do your due diligence as a Casper community member to ask them, see if you can make your voice heard. But the premise right now is rug pulls are an inherent thing that happens to any project in a proof-of-stake matter when they've got pre-allocations, and it's a risk. And at the same time, with how the market's looking right now and how disastrous looking right now, de-risking is also not a bad thing to do. But if you are wanting to have some exposure to crypto, which I think is a great thing, I'm not advising you to do so, not an advisor, but I have exposure to crypto, I think all of us here do, and the information that I provided to my executives in this community here, it's so in-depth, for one, and equally in the roundtable we did earlier today, we covered the institutional insight, the fact that in the next the space is going to transform in the next 2 years, and even then on as well, the projects they're looking at, the fact that, I mean, again, I can go on, I can really go on. There's a lot that we cover in there. The institutional research is very informative to give us an understanding of their outlook and this market and what's going forward as well, and what's important. So again, if you want to find out a lot more in-depth insight, we're also going to be uploading a trading education video as well for those who do want to look to trade, amongst other things in there as well. Link down below in the description, also my homepage here as well. My conviction in crypto as a asset class is so strong because of the research that we conduct and post in that community there. It's so strong, unbelievably strong. And for me, Casper is a no-brainer because of what's coming out for it and how it's going to tap into these markets institutions are trying to tap into right now. And because Casper is decentralized, I just see the risk to reward being higher for Casper, because the chance of it going to zero is inherently much smaller than the likes of Mantra or XRP that have insiders, that have a lot of tokenomics that are just pre-allocated to the insiders and therefore can just go to zero. This is what you can see with any proof-of-stake project. Now, in saying that, does that mean you shouldn't invest into proof-of-stake projects? That is completely up to you. No matter what you do, there has to be an element of risk to reward. You've got to weigh up your risk in whether you deem it worthwhile to invest. And again, I have assets that I've invested into myself that are proof of stakes, because I see potential for them to do insane gains this cycle. But as a longevity thing, I don't know if I'm going to hold them for much longer, because again, I also understand the risk of being a proof of stake, having insiders, therefore the insider could just rug you completely. And when that happens at the liquidity, you can't even sell your assets. You're forced to hold it and go to zero, like happened to Terra Luna. You're forced to hold it and it goes to zero. It is a very evil world we live in. People have personal interests. They have selfish desires. They don't look out for your own benefits. You know, we're all in this together, but it's also every man for themselves. And that's one thing I love about Casper here, because Casper is truly a community project, and while it is everyone for themselves, we also do our best to try and help out at the same time. Back-to-back donations. Tony, my brother, man. Chill. You're insane. To further elaborate, proof of stake coins have a metric called total value locked, TVL, yes, which is stacked. And staking, which is staked, and staking provides a means of exchange. Proof of work coins do not have to rely on this metric. Yeah, I mean, again, Trip20 is completely right that the inherent difference between proof of work and proof of stake is the fact that tokens are locked up, total value locked, which they could use to stake to kind of, continue to make that money work type of thing, but it also means they could end up just taking it all out. XRP, for example, they have an escrow, which is basically the TVL, which has like half the supply. They could just take that all out and flood the market with liquidity and then just cause the price to just drop. So it is always, again, an element of risk to reward you've got to take into account. But again, thank you very much, Crypt20, for another $10 donation. You're insane, my man. Thank you very much. I appreciate it more than you even know. But yeah, again, this is why I do have such strong belief in Casper, because Casper, this rug pull rubbish cannot happen. It can't, because it's decentralized at its core. It's not claiming decentralization like Mantra was doing. Real world asset working with BlackRock, it still is now being rug pulled and is dropping down 90% in a day. This is meme coin level behavior. And this was a top 20, $8 billion market cap asset. It's insane. So this is why I believe in Casper. And again, I do hold other assets, but I think Casper for me is the strongest and safest bet. My risk to reward, if I was to give it a number metric, me personally, Casper is a 1. It's because, especially at this current level right now, if you got it at 20 cents, it might have been a 3. Maybe a 4, because it was really overbought by that point, and everything, the corrections come back now. But what's coming out for it and everything else, and its decentralized nature, does for me lower my risk to reward. Something like XRP, SUI, and C, and Tau. I mean, Tau's a different story entirely, actually, because that's also decentralized, and AI. So actually, my risk to reward for Tau is also quite low. But those assets there, I've still hedged into them, not enough, but I've hedged into them. But my risk to reward for like XRP and them lot is probably about a 6, 7, maybe even 8. Therefore, what I've allocated into them, I've allocated my portfolio into them accordingly. So instead of me investing my entire net worth into it, I've put a smaller allocation into it. So should, God forbid, a Mantra repeat happen with one of my holdings, it would hurt me and I'd be very pissed off. But at the same time, it's not going to affect me too drastically, because what I'm holding it is not significantly enough to affect me mentally. And if that happened to Casper, I would be a lot more hurt. But again, it can't happen to Casper because of its decentralized nature. The miners control the project. And actually, speaking of the miners right now, the hash rate is slightly below 1 extra hash right now, but it has managed to regain 1 EH earlier today, which is reassuring, which is a sign again that the miners, while they have taken a little bit of a holiday right now, if you will, it's a sign once more that the current fall off in hash rate is partly, yes, due to miners switching off because the price is not profitable right now, but also because there's a massive shift going on right now from the nodes that miners that the exchanges, the nodes that are currently being run on top of, they're switching to the new arcade version, to the new crescendo version. Therefore, there's a current fluctuation in hash rate. Once the crescendo activation happens on the 5th of May, it's a good possibility you see the hash rate rise up to where it was, if not higher, as well. And of course, hash rate is a very good indicator for proof of work. And I think the hash rate is going to rally up higher as well as the price in the coming months or so, based on the developments and also based on the market, which is, again, looking like a perfect storm is approaching. And to highlight again, anything can happen. Should we see further developments from the tariffs I'll get into in a moment, then we could see a significant drawback. If you get more uncertainty in the markets due to tariffs, we could see a massive catastrophe still happen. And maybe Jim's right here in saying that we could see Bitcoin come back down to 60k. Otherwise, then, I mean, right now we look at Bitcoin based on a very, very base level TA right now. We're seeing that higher highs and higher lows are being formed. So it's still very much in a downward trend right now. We need to see Bitcoin confidently break, I'd say, above 90k for us to start seeing an indicator for the market start to make a recovery. We're not there just yet. So right now we're still in limbo, and the tariffs aren't helping that right now. So if we look at the current tariff updates, that's why the markets are correcting right now. Good news is apparently 130 countries are now negotiating new trade deals with the United States, according to the White House, which is reassuring. However, and even then, if you mentioned the Fed now stated, or a top Fed official stated, that they are now, ready to take action and help stabilize the market if needed. However, there's still a lot of uncertainty right now. The US Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick stated that Trump's administration, the recent tariff exemptions on electronics and smartphones and computers are only temporary. Tariffs on semiconductors and electronics are expected to take effect within the month, while pharmaceutical tariffs may follow in the next 1 to 2 months as well. So right now, tariffs are here, but they're not. Again, a lot of uncertainty right now. So in regards to the reciprocal tariff exclusion from computers, smartphones, and chip-making equipment, to put it into perspective, US imports approximately $100 billion of computers, smartphones, and chip equipment from China per year. A total of $439 billion of goods were imported from China into the United States in last year alone. This therefore means that 20% of all China's imports coming to the United States are now exempt from reciprocal tariffs. So it's deemed almost as a massive U-turn for tariff policies, as America is now allowing China to trade, which again, that sounds good, but then we see the further developments that's caused the market to correct here. So we've got, again, regarding to the semiconductors, being a month or so, once again, markets are very confused this morning. It appears that semiconductor tariffs are still coming, but not technically a part of reciprocal tariffs. So what are they referring to? Again, we delve a little bit further. Commerce Secretary says no tariffs on semiconductors. Then China apparently calls on the United States to completely cancel tariffs, so there's still the ongoing trade war and uncertainty. Trump says something positive will come out of China, which again is reassuring, but then you get this post here. White House says Trump has no plans to speak with Chinese President Xi Jinping about tariff war. So we're getting a lot of mixed messages right now. So the tariffs in itself cause uncertainty, but then you get mixed messages as well about we're talking to them, we're not talking to them, they want to finish it, they don't want to. The worst thing for financial markets is uncertainty. If you get recession confirmations, if you get war confirmations, it's bad, but at least you know the markets are going down, so you compare accordingly. Uncertainty is the worst for markets. That causes the price to capitulate a lot further as well. That's why Bitcoin's down 1.27%. That's why everything else is correcting right now as well in value. Casper right now is down 4.4% on the daily time frame. It's still trading within, well, I guess, okay, trading view is just terrible. That's why. Yeah, we can see it's still trading, in and around this support level. 7.3 to 8 cents right now on the daily. You can see it's around here. Right now, it looks like the buyers, for the most part, in control. If you see the wick going up here, there's a bigger wick here, so the buyers right now have more momentum seen than the sellers right now. So despite the macro doesn't weigh too heavily into the market, we could hopefully start seeing Casper make a rally up and, to again give a little small leak to those who are watching now. In the VIP group earlier, our experienced trader C Crypto does have a belief right now that we may see Casper make more likely, again, anything's possible right now. It depends on the macro news right now, but provided there's nothing tariff developments or BlackRock FUD that comes out, there's a higher chance right now of what's coming out for Casper and the market in general that we'll see Casper make a return up to the 10 cents level of resistance before we see Casper make a return back down here to the 5 cents level of resistance or support. And Casper again is a very strong position. There's also more speculation here about how Binance Pound is leaking at Casper because B plus D plus E equals 11, which is the letter K in the alphabet. That is probably stretching a little bit, but again, I can call it back to these tier ones for me. They will list Casper. It's only a matter of time when. We don't know. It could be around 10 BS, could be around smart contracts, could be around stable coins. Smart contracts are going to be very, very big for Casper. Absolutely game changing. We spoke about that in our VIP group earlier as well. My VIP group does still talk about Casper. So, and other projects in there as well. We're trying to find out more about the space. We're going to start learning how to also utilize other elements in the market as well, because that's what banks are doing as well, and that's what we see the value in it. So yeah, a lot more to come, and we can even see proof from that here with Smoke highlighting that from the April 2025. So this month, the European Banking Authority confirms that the new crypto asset framework is now fully implemented. This is a very big catalyst, and we've seen videos from the Senator Tim Scott, who's confirmed that they believe a market structure bill and stablecoin bill will be implemented by August, which is 4 months from now. And again, to give a little snippet from the VRP group, we had institutional alpha confirmation that and I'm not going to give percentages exactly to try and still give some form of like what exactly you're talking about, a little bit of a FOMO and hopium, but to put it this way, there's a lot of adoption in crypto with institutions already. That's expected to triple in the next 2 years, and massive explosion happening following the regulatory frameworks. If you want to know exactly what I'm referring to, the institutional insight alongside other stuff like trade alerts and educational content and much more that we're still trying to develop more and more in that community every single day. You can check out the VRP group, 7-day free trial, link down below in the description. Also on your homepage here as well. We're still work in progress, we're still trying to learn a lot more, but it is, from what people who are in there so far, they see a lot of value in it. People who were originally scared of trading have now come back to start trading again because they've been able to learn from there, and they've been able to learn that averaging Casper. There's a lot more they provide in there, in the community there, and it gives more conviction on the fact that while the markets may look terrible right now, the tariffs are just noise. The actual underlying reason doesn't even matter. The thing that matter is the developments coming through, or the institutions are planning to do on the sidelines, and then we are positioning ourselves accordingly for what's coming soon as well. And of course, Casper is the big one for me because it is decentralized, it is secure, it is not mantra. It is not mantra at all. Will it come back? Who knows? I can't say for sure if it will come back, but fundamentally speaking, even if it does come back somehow to its level, seeing a 90% drop off, that's going to ruin all confidence in mantra. For me, mantra's dead now. I don't personally see a way how mantra comes back from this. Seeing a massive asset, even it's making a small recovery right now because some people are believing, it's going to come back, and they're trying to buy the bottom, I'm guessing. And maybe it does come back. Maybe it does. I don't know. But seeing a 90% rug in 2 hours from a top 20 asset is ridiculous. And when you look a little bit more into mantra and you understand the tokenomics, it makes sense. So I personally, while mantra had a lot of things that look very promising from what I don't know ins and outs about, a lot of promising things about mantra, and I was optimistic about, I heard people who are optimistic about it, this is terrible. And once more highlights the importance of true decentralization and knowing what you hold. Allocate your risk accordingly. Don't be emotional, be logical. And now I'm going to get into all the questions that I've definitely missed because it's been a very long time coming. Welcome back, DD, my man. You're doing very, very well. Eternal Night to you too. And Buffalo Theory. And everyone else, welcome back to the channel. Got a lot of questions. Love you all. Thank you very much. We're swimming in rug. Yes, well, we're swimming right now in a rug. Casper itself is not a rug. It's just a correction. A heavy correction, no doubt. But to get a little bit more technical in the terminology, right? You've got 3 terminologies, right? You've got corrections, crashes, and rug pulls. Corrections is anything between, and I should really have the Google, the Paint document up to make it easier as well. So a correction, I'll just highlight a C, correction, so CO correction, that's an O, is anything from, 0.01% to 10% downwards. A crash, CR, is anything, I would say like 10 to, I guess, probably 30%, maybe 30 to 34% down. This is all in the span of a day, by the way. And then a rug is anything that is just extortionately high, probably 50% plus, that happens in an extremely short time frame in a couple of hours. So, in the elements of Casper right now has gone through a long correction cycle. With some crashes, we've seen some days where Casper's come down 10%, as even Bitcoin's done so as well. When you look at Bitcoin right now, we can see, we look at Bitcoin, there was a day in particular where Bitcoin, trading view, stop. See Bitcoin as well, on that particular day here, we saw Bitcoin come down 10%. It did bottom out 10%. So there have been days in Bitcoin where it's come down heavily as well. So, crashes are always possible in any asset, even Bitcoin. But the rug pull right now of Mantra came down in the span of 2 hours, 90%. over 90%. I think it came down max of 93 from what we saw. So yeah, Mantra is that has rugged. So we are currently swimming in the midst of a rug pool with what was the biggest real world asset project that had partnerships seemingly to the likes of Buildall, which is, I believe, BlackRock's company. And let me look a little bit more into that to see. And again, this just is so ironic now looking at it, talking about increasing the amount of impersonators and trying to prioritize the safety of the community while they just rug the community, because it has to be rugging. There's no way the community themselves can rug the project. So this one here. So if you got Buildall on Manta Pacific, which is wait, this is what I'm talking about? Manta. I want Mantra. Is that even the right one? No, that's that one. Okay, so that's incredibly the wrong one I was looking at here. So let's even look at the right one here. Last post on the 11th. Can confirm the appetite of real assets is real, particularly in Paris. Thank you for Cointelegraph for bringing everyone together. I mean, yeah, so... But see, look, this is the end of the message. Don't be fooled by impersonators. So they're also still posting about, be careful people trying to impersonate us. And they're still talking... this is, only a few days back, they're still talking about all the stuff coming to it. IBC protocol. It's going to Ethereum very soon. We see it come back heavily, so that's insane for Mantra. It's shocking. It's the only word I can put, because it was a very, very big asset and it's come down. And even the CEO was taking part in conferences and talks, talking about adoption, stablecoin tokenization, privacy, and all that sort of stuff. And I haven't listened to it, but this stuff is important, and I've got institutional research documents that cover this in the VRP group as well, and the importance of it. But of course, Mantra right now, seemingly, I mean, again, whether it comes back or not, I don't know. But for me, it would have lost all credibility after seeing a 90% correction. Seeing that in a rubbish coin, I mean, it's coming back up right now. It went from 500 to 600. So it's coming back up, but that is insane. Yeah, it's a nasty rug pull, insane. It's still currently up from its launch, so I guess if you got in the very beginning, you're still okay. But seeing it come back heavily, so yeah, it is. And again, the fact they've got no max supply as well just means they can still continue printing more. Or it's infinite supply. I was thinking opening short at 1.2, but decided to not play with fire. Also not like the idea of people trying to make profit off many people's misfortune. I mean, as I was highlighting, and it's coming back to here again as well, it is a dog-eat-dog world. Don't get me wrong, I understand having morals. I do, and I have morals myself. And I think staying true to your morals is the way to keep true to yourself. So definitely stick true to your morals if you don't like that idea. But we are in a dog-eat-dog world. Everyone's got personal agendas. They're not looking out for your own well benefit. So if it's a way to make money, if it's a way that something that you can end up benefiting of, don't hesitate in a sense like you feel bad. Again, like, I'm trying to dance around what I'm trying to say right now. I'm not saying do it. You do as you are, you're an investor. But understand that I think fundamentally stick to your morals. Definitely, I think morals are the most important things in the world. I've got my own morals. Like my morals is trying to be the utmost honesty and transparent and loyal that's how I hold myself as a person in real life, and I stick true to those as much as I can do in every sense I can do. There's something I'll keep private because they need to be private. Like my holdings for how much I hold of crypto, that for me is private. That's personal, but I'll still be transparent about what I'm doing. And equally, there'll be some things as well that I'll be even more transparent about to those who are part of the VRP group because they obviously want to know more, and that's perfectly fine. But people who are, whether they're selling Casper, selling crypto, like people definitely would have shorted that position as well. People are also trying to buy that now off the massive crash. So you got to do what's right for you. But I mean, if you did, that would have been insane. If you opened that at $1.20, seeing how far it's come back down now, where it came back down to down 50% since then. But at the same time, if look, at the same time, it would have been a massive risk, because who would have known that it would have come back down further from 1.2? It may have just stayed there. The level of rug doesn't mean it had to go to zero necessarily. It can still come back 70% until it's unstolen. So it's very, very risky play. And Mantra rug is insane. Big oof, no doubt. Yeah, it was a top 20. It was the number one real world asset. We telling people those proof of stake coins are garbage. I mean, yeah, that's the inherent. Again, it's one from highlight. It's the element of risk to reward. The inherent problem with proof of stakes is that stuff like this can happen. That's why I choose to take more pride and and attention towards the elements of proof of works, and particularly Casper, because what they're building is going to compete with other proof of stakes while staying decentralized, which is we can hopefully realize the absolute gift we're being given right now of Casper. Witnessing a massive asset rug in real time, and Casper is going to be coming out with some massive technology very soon that's going to be able to compete and surpass the likes of Mantra and other projects while being decentralized. Therefore, this sort of stuff cannot happen. It's a very, very big deal. Huge deal. With the 13th cursed number, maybe not. Welcome up, Crypto Ghost, doing very, very well. Welcome back to the channel. Not worried much about Casper getting destroyed like this, but Tau and Sui, which I hold, can theoretically be rugged like this. Sui can be, definitely, because proof of stake. I'm not entirely sure about Tau. Maybe I need to look more so into it to understand a bit exactly what, but from my understanding, I mean, I know Tau's fair launch, and I know Tau also, while being AI, is a proof of work as well. So Tau probably has more security in that regard to Sui, but Sui has VC back-in and pre-allocation, so Sui can definitely be viable to that. Saying that, I do hold Sui because I choose to hedge my portfolio to just hedge my bets, hedge my portfolio just to potentially benefit off a rally should it rally. But again, what I hold in it is a lot smaller to where I can't be affected by it. But yeah, I mean, it comes down to, again, your risk to reward at the end of the day. Casper can't be rugged, it's fair launch, completely true. Welcome back, Casper. I'm doing very, very well. We're going to get GTA 6 before Casper Coinbase spot listing. Honestly, yeah. You know what? That's going to be such a tough time for me because I'm very much looking forward to GTA 6, but at the same time, I can't neglect the jobs I'm doing. I can't neglect my work. Like, it's going to be so hard to balance between playing GTA and just bringing you the Casper FOMO. But I'm sure I'll find a way. Who knows? Maybe Casper will be on GTA because I know they're doing crypto payments on GTA as well. So that's again a sign of what's coming through to crypto. The adoption is going to get. That's good news for Caspians. I mean, yeah, again, it's a sign of, the inherent problem with proof of stakes is they can be very, very risky, and this stuff can happen. But Casper's in a very strong position right now. Stronger in the sense of risk to reward, and the fact that, again, because it's a proof of work, it cannot be rugged. It cannot be rugged. Not a good news for crypto space for sure. Oh yeah, no, it's not good news at all. Mantra it was the biggest real world asset project. It had good partnerships seemingly with the likes of, massive institutions. So it rugging is definitely not good. Thankfully, it's not the same as Terra Luna. Because Terra Luna was a much bigger asset, and that, alongside FTX, caused a complete capitulation. That was disastrous, but it's still not good for crypto. And that, alongside the current uncertainty of tariffs, is going to play more so into the community sentiment now, which is just complete. The uncertainty is going higher and higher. And this also could potentially play into the other massive sentiment that's been spoken about multiple times on this channel, and equally in more detail with proof in my VIP group, which is 99% of crypto assets are going to zero. 99%. Majority of the assets are going to go to zero because they either have bad fundamentals, they have bad fundamentals, bad tokenomics, insiders, whatever it may be, and they're going to just rug pull you, or because their token or their utility is either not, it doesn't match up to projects that are better than it. So I mentioned, like, for example, there are probably going to be projects that are similar to XRP, but aren't as good as it and aren't as big as it, therefore they're going to be cannibalized by them. Now, is XRP going to be great for the long term going forward? Sources right now suggest yes, based on their partnerships and what they have going for it, but at the same time, I still think there's a possibility that Casper can actually be a threat to them, thanks to Warp Core and other elements of Casper as well. I hedge my bet into XRP, but I have more belief in Casper long term as well. And also because it's more undervalued. I mean, I got into XRP at 50 cents, so I'm still up on that. And I've been holding XRP since the lawsuits, or in the middle of the lawsuits. Honestly, whoever sells Casper is misinformed. End of story. And I mean, again, it comes down to you, right? I think if you were up here, and you didn't see Casper doing anything good in the short term, and I'm talking about this being the short term here, de-risking could have been smart. Do what you do as an investor. Again, you're your own investor. Do what's best for you. And it may be smart to de-risk. If you completely sell your bag in Casper, again, that's your decision. I think selling your whole bag in Casper is unwise, but that's my personal belief. I'm not a financial advisor. But if you've de-risked, that's perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with that. Might be the smart thing to do. Me personally, I haven't touched my Casper bag. I bought some and I bought more and I DC'd into it, but I've not touched it. Because I don't see the need to. I have conviction in Casper as a long-term play. This cycle I'll take some out, a small portion sure, because I want to, play with my winnings. But I'm holding it for years and years to come, treating Casper as a new form of money. But yeah, I mean, if they keep selling, then, we can buy the bottoms, no doubt. You shouldn't buy any coin except Casper and Bitcoin. And for safety reasons, to reduce the potential of being rug pulled like Mantra, then arguably yes. What is that title? The title says rug pull happening real time because Mantra just went through. I think just went through. It's still kind of going through right now, but it's kind of stabilized at the bottom right now. But it's gone through a rug pull. Mantra down 90% in the span of 2 hours, and then everyone is selling Casper. Well, I'm not listing all the names out there because I don't want to bring too much negativity to my way. I don't like causing drama at all. But I'm talking about because what's important in the ecosystem right now. And right now, there are a lot of very well-renowned KOLs for Casper who have now come out saying, Casper's still saying he's still holding it, but you've got people like Jim recently who's just come out saying that he told his private community that he sold half his Casper and still got a moon bag, but he sold a lot of his Casper, and that could cause more FUD. But at the end of the day, you're your own investor. You've got to do what's best for you. Optical fiber highlights here, probably with the best aspect of Casper in my opinion is the fact that mining will almost definitely be profitable for fees only, well before missions are running out, and I agree with that as well. You'll still be able to mine Casper while making money off the emission schedule based on what's being released and the institutional adoption as well, and I think we'll see a lot more and that coming out very, very soon as well. Casper's innovation position, despite people selling it right now, it makes sense de-risking. I don't blame them. If you sold your whole bag, again, that's completely up to you as an investor. Me personally, I've not sold anything though, because I still think Casper's in for a very strong shout going in the cycle as well. Bitcoin also can be dumped hard. Anything can be dumped hard. Being dumped hard is not impossible, right? Bitcoin can still be dumped 20-30%. I mean, if you look at Bitcoin right now, we look at which day. Let's look at the day where Casper went through a big correction as well. So right here, you saw Bitcoin here come back 14-15%. For Bitcoin, that's insane. 58k to 50k, 8k wiped out in terms of price, but in terms of actual, market cap, it'd be a hell of a lot more. So Bitcoin can still go through massive corrections in a single day, but its element of being rug pulled is significantly smaller because A, it's got so much adoption and it's decentralized. So many people own Bitcoin. It's almost impossible. It is impossible to rug Bitcoin. And the same thing with Casper because it's proof of work, it's fair launch, no pre-allocations, it cannot be rugged. Yeah. OM just went through, the only thesis for me is that the insiders rugged it because it's the only thing that makes sense. It's absolutely insane. I'm baffled. Yeah, it's insane. 9% drop in a day for a top proof of work, a top real world asset. Number 20 with 8 billion market cap is nuts. Yeah, it's actually insane. But people who lost their money, people who are bullish. Because again, I heard a lot of bullish sentiment about Mantra. Those who are bullish on Mantra, my heart's got to do if you lost your investment. It really, really does. And that's again the reason why I try to manage my. If I invested into Mantra, I would have invested a very small portfolio into it because the tokenomics aren't great, and a proof of stake element is just a very, very risky thing for me. Tokenomics are important, very important, very, very important. Mantra was Archetype's pick. Oh, was it Archetype's pick? Oh, I think I saw someone in my community. I think it was Suhail who mentioned that earlier as well. And Archetype. I guess I will name drop that. Archetype is also one of the members who did fade Casper as well. I went to Turbo, and Turbo, of course, has come back, significantly since then as well. Since they announced it, down almost 90% as well. That's not a rug. That's a heavy correction, bigger than Casper's, but it's not a rug. But yeah, I mean, this market is not fair. If the market is not fair, it's not looking out for you. Selfish interest. It's not about. You got to do what's best for you. Mantra did sound like a promising project, but there's always a problem with tokenomics. That for me, that would already maybe be like, okay, if I see it and it has potential, I'll put a very small portfolio into it to where I'm not worried if it rugs. And I mean, thankfully, for me personally, I didn't invest into it. If you did, I do apologize. But I mean, that's also why I look at assets like Casper as my biggest pick, because it's decentralized. That rug element is just not possible. Exactly. Can't have to because I'm not selling. Exactly. I'm not gonna let that happen. Matt, Archetype, Mancha, Crypto, John Turbo. Imagine the audience. I mean, yeah, I'm sure a lot of the community sentiment would definitely be negative right now. But at the same time, think about BitBoy Crypto, right? And I'm not comparing them to him at all because I don't think that's fair. BitBoy Crypto is the one guy that I will speak negatively about because I think he's a moron. You'll never hear me say that about anybody else because I don't like spreading, negativity at all. But there's so much wrong with that guy. He's even been investigated by the SEC. He's had a court case. There's so much wrong with him that I think it's okay talking about him, but not okay, but it's fair game. But he had so much negativity around him, and yet people still watched him. People still followed him, which I don't understand why. Some people just do anyway. So my whole promise is, despite the unfortunate calls, let's just put it a polite way like that, from the individuals who called Turbo and Archetype, Turbo and Mancha, sorry, unfortunate calls, they'll probably still get an audience. And you go, again, that's perfect. It's up to them. It's perfectly fine. My picks that I've made public. Of course, I have some picks that I've disclosed to members who are part of the community here. Some of them have done very well. Some have also not done very well either. Again, it's kind of a, allocating the market accordingly. And some of them I still think can come back, but the market is going through a very bad correction right now. But otherwise, then, for me, the ones I mentioned public are Casper, Sui, C, Tau, Naka, Vulcan Forge, and some of the other projects as well. While most of them are proof of stakes, and therefore, again, risk to reward, I think they have good potential. For me, the strongest one is Casper. Then I'll probably say Tau being AI and fair launch. And then, you should pick out from there as well. Liquidity is like proof of stake. Yeah, precisely. Yeah, I know it's Mantra Rug. I know it's not Casper. I said Rug. If rug pull happened in real time, plus everyone is selling Casper. I didn't say Casper being rug pulled. I said everyone's selling Casper because that's what Jim's talking about. But Mantra's the one rug pulling. Crypto Mindset is doing this tactic. Yeah, I know. Crypto Mindset also is someone who is selling Casper. I've become very well known of Crypto Mindset recently because my community here keep talking about him, about how he's very bearish on Casper. And to be fair to him, his calls were right. And he did that based on TA. And, again, that's why I think TA is important. I don't think it's the be all and end all, but it's important. But, a lot of people are still calling $1 Casper. For me, I don't see that happening. We've seen Casper held up very, very strong at the level here. If Bitcoin does correct under 60k, then yeah, Casper comes down further, I'm sure. But I don't think Bitcoin comes down to 60k personally, unless we get some massive FUD news. I think Bitcoin can come down to maybe 70k, like here, or even 73k where it peaked in its first run up here. But anything lower, I'd be surprised. Or not surprised, but I would, I'm optimistic it wouldn't go too much further. I think the markets are kind of waiting for the tariff. And, if we get rate cuts on 7th of May, we might start seeing the market make a reversal. But again, the tariffs are still very much, in limbo right now. But again, this is just noise for what really matters, which is the whole monetary policies and the regulatory clarity that's coming through right now. Most of the YouTube and other influencers just jump at most trending coins on social media at the moment and milk content and even and sometimes get paid by projects to promote them. Yeah, completely true. I mean, even I've done it at times. One of my first ever videos I made on a YouTube channel was about an asset called Grove. Because on the time when I was talking about Grove went up 2,000% in a day. It's now come back to basically being worth zero. So, again, it's part of the game. It's part of the game of being a content creator. And that's, again, me being transparent. But, of course, there are some times where, you'll be paid to shield something. And, again, it's part of your job. But it also comes down to you as the content creator to do research and know, is it worth the paycheck to talk about something that, it could end up being quite damaging? Which, again, is when like I mentioned yesterday, there are some projects that I have not mentioned because I think it's not worth talking about because they could be quite damaging to shield something that may not be beneficial to people. But that just comes down to moral morals again. and I try to stick true to my morals. You can see some YouTubers promo like they have 5, 10, even 20 coins in their bag, but can't give you any more less useful info about the coin besides it's AI, it's layer 1, it's reward asset. Yeah, I mean, again, it comes down, a lot of people who are sure they kind of just do a very general update about the token. And it's quite, and to be fair, when people start talking, when Casper starts taking off, you'll hear a lot of people also do a very general coverage of Casper as well. Because it's the first video of an asset will always be quite a general coverage. So the thing that people try to do as investors, when you're trying to look into assets and you go through your YouTube or Twitter feed or whatever, you try to find the ones who've been about for a very, very long time, can give you more in-depth insight on the project, because they've been doing it for so long. I mean, that's partly why I still talk about Casper, because I think Casper's going to do very, very well. And then when Casper does start doing well in value again, and people start coming back and the firm comes back again, people will come to this channel, hopefully, because, I might not be the biggest channel out there, but in terms of my intellect of Casper, I believe it's, it's above average. It's above average. I can answer a majority of questions about Casper. And if I don't, well, then I've got a free community of like-minded individuals who also know a lot about Casper, can ask questions why I don't. So again, that's the benefits of, I guess it's kind of a maxing mentality, but it's the benefit of just researching. And that's what I take pride in. The thing I take pride in most than anything else is just the fact I do a lot of research. And it helps me build my conviction in what I'm doing as well. Give me some clarity. Maybe it's my OCD, who knows? Or ADHD. For this reason, proof of stakes are all scams. Team can have access to the tokens. Exactly. Again, and it comes down to, that's right, all of them have an inherent risk, and that comes down to, again, your risk to reward. My risk to reward rating for proof of stakes are always going to be above 5, because I understand the risk of them being rug pulled. Something like Mantra, looking at that would have been an 8 or 9 for me, because that tokenomics is terrible. XRP for me, that's like 6, 7. Still high, but because it has a lot more going for XRP, it's slightly lower. But I still understand the risk to it, therefore I've allocated accordingly. Casper for me is a 1. And that's my personal scales. Again, you've got to make your own scales, so you've got to do your own research. But for me, that's my scaling. I think that's very, very low, because especially right now, because of how undervalued it is at 7.2 cents, the risk reward for Casper for me is a lot lower. It's at a 1, because I see a higher chance. Again, it could still come back down the next few days, but I see a higher chance of Casper making a rally upwards, and it not rugging because it's decentralized, then it coming down and going to 0. We really are the best, 100% agree, exactly. The big question is Ski Bum buying back lower? That I cannot say for sure, and I'm sure people could reach out to him and ask him if he wants to answer those questions again. I'm not sure if he will do. Maybe he does, maybe he doesn't. I think if he's not buying it right now, he might start sizing back in when the market starts to rally again. If he sees, maybe he might have a zone that he told to his private group where he thinks, okay, if Casper passes this zone here, then yeah, I'm going to start sizing back in again, because I think that's a good indicator the price will start rallying again. Or he might even say, he might actually probably more so say if it passes 15.5 cents here, because that is, quite clear, lower highs. So I would say if it quite comfortably surpasses the lower highs there, so quite comfortably surpasses this one here, he might then say, I'm going to start sizing back in around here. Again, that's my prediction. I have no I don't speak to him, so I have no idea. I think sell shaming is a terrible thing people do in crypto. It's so stupid. I mean, again, I understand people do it because they want to have belief in their assets, and if someone who's meant to be a massive influencer for that asset, whether paid or just in general because they believe in it, starts shilling or starts selling the project, that's going to bring uncertainty and FUD to the community. So I understand why it's happening, but again, and I've highlighted as well, you are your own investor. He de-risked because he didn't see it worthwhile holding and let his portfolio take and bleed more so, and I think that's perfectly fine. I haven't done that because I just didn't feel the need to. I think I wanted to hold Casper, and I think even now I'm still DCAing now because I think it's a very undervalued price right now. We need to make sure to properly educate on the reasons why proof of stake is doomed. Sorry about the donation. Sometimes I have to interrupt you while you're on a subject. Hey, I'm never going to say no to donations. As much as, I do this because I love doing it. I'm never going to, I'm never going to say stop giving me donations. But I do very much appreciate Crypto. You're actually a complete legend. And I thank you very much for being also another voice of reason in this community as well. You're a legend. Thank you very much. And, this is, again, the power of Casper. You know, the education that we provide here is second to none in regards to just the fundamentals of proof of works and what's coming to the space as well. And of course, yes, we might be maxis and Casper, but it's because we have strong belief in in the true nature of what crypto is meant to be, which is decentralized and for everybody. Proof of stakes are inherent risk. Money is a risk to the freedom of people, and proof of stakes are a risk to proof of works, which is what the freedom of people is meant to be for. And I'm sure I'll be able to give a lot more in-depth insight when I do get around to watching those videos on Plan K. Just wait for deliveries of the 30 THK7 miners starting April 18th. I mean, yeah, that's also true. I forgot. They're meant to be new miners being released from Ice River, and then I think starting shipping from April 18th up to the end of April, just before the Crescendo hard forks. You might see the hash rate again go up again. So, you know, just ahead of time. Very good. Mantra, another rug that Argostar was pushing. I mean, yeah, again, he's had a bit of a stinker, unfortunately for him. Made a money off Mantra. Glad I got out ages ago. Only 100% Casper now. That's it. Oh, I'd love to hear that, man. Really, really do. I'm so glad you got out of that before that rug, because yeah, that is. I mean, looking at it right now, it is starting to make a recovery, which is actually, it's not even surprising. I'll be honest. It came down to a $500 million market cap. It actually came down to $400 million market cap, and now people are buying it back because people deem it's now be bottomed out. You saw the same thing happen to Luna. I don't want Terra, so I want Luna, not Terra. Well, it's the same thing actually. There was two, weren't there? And you go to all. You can see that here. Oh, this is the second one they launched actually. It's Luna I wanted, I think. Oh, it's the same. Oh, no, Luna Classic. Yeah. I believe it was this one that was a one that. Oh, why my PC is so slow? Oh my gosh. Yeah, this one. Yeah, so we can see. Look, Luna was up market cap wise. Yeah, look, market cap was 132 billion. So Mantra was a rug pull, yes, but that was 8 billion. That's $132 billion market cap that rug pulled. That was a top asset. And if you zoom in, we can zoom in and we can see. And Mantra, when Luna rugged as well, we saw it go down to 800. Look, it was still being bought up a little bit. It came down further, but it went back up to 2 billion again. People were still buying it because they thought, oh yeah, it's going to make a recovery. It's, you know, it's not. It's not. Although I will be honest in saying that I did have a little bit of a joke with mates, just putting like literally a $5 into the same. Or if it returns to all-time high, or it turns to $1 even, you know, that makes me 20k. It was like just a complete joke. But again, that's $5. Like it's throwaway money, at least for some people. $5 might be a lot for people. I don't know your finances again, so. But yeah, that's it. It's not exactly the same level or magnitude of Terra Luna, of a Luna Classic, but yeah, Mantra is still disastrous, and you'll see people buying it back up. But I think I would like to believe it's probably done for now, because the community sentiment is going to be not believing it anymore. I don't see how it comes back from that. Don't be scared, people. We're living historical moments. Oh, 100%. Don't be emotional, but logical. We are still living history, and Casper's about to make new history for better in the next couple of weeks. Proof of stake crypto is not real crypto. When will people learn proof of work is true crypto in the most original form? You're completely right. Japan Prime Minister, welcome. You're completely right. It would be smarter to just forget about crypto, Casper price actions for a month at least, go live our lives and go live our lives. My dyslexia is actually up. Go live our lives and come back in a month to check it out again. Hard to do, right? Oh yeah. You know, I'm sure there are a lot of people right now. I mean, right now, you know, today's stream's been insane. Again, over 100 people watching. It's very, very, you know, very nice. And I thank you very much for watching again. But of course, when Casper starts to rally again, this stream will probably start hitting 300 people. Because there are a lot of people who hold Casper right now, but there's no point in looking at the market right now when the price is down. When the price comes up, people will come back as well. Yeah, I mean, yeah, touch some grass, you know, hug your family, hug your wife or husband or significant other or your dog. Actually, go hug your dog. You've got a dog. Dogs are cool. Dogs are often cats. Pets are awesome. Yeah, just have some. Yeah, don't let the market and the price action affect you emotionally. Don't be emotional, be logical. Understand. If you're getting emotional, do research. Either take time away or do research. And by research, I mean looking what's coming into the market. Again, that's what we provide in this community here, the VIP group. A lot of in-depth research and analysis of what's coming through. That's why, the members of the community there, the VIPs, have said that the information provided here has made them immune to FUD. And that's all I can ask for. it's still worth taking into account the FUD, so you can allocate and your portfolios accordingly. But they're immune to the FUD. They understand what's coming. It's all trying to provide in there. I try and be like, it's just impossible to think about Casper, to be honest. Oh yeah, it's really impossible, especially when you've got me covering the content every single day. I think more times a day in Casper. I think more times a day in Casper than I think about my girlfriend. Oh yeah, yeah, definitely a problem. I'm truly getting immune to crazy price swings lately. That's why I use my discernment when I check the market news. I mean, yeah, I think being immune to the price trades and price swings is ultimately what I think. I think those who, whether it's your first or second or whatever market, when you started trading for enough time, you become desensitized to price swings. You understand what causes them, and you become immune to those sort of catalysts and events, right? But at the same time, like, it's not something you can't naturally just not be emotional and be logical. It takes a lot of time, a lot of losses to do that. And I also had my loss in the first cycle. That's why I can do that comfortably now. And I also understood very early the value of finding true information and research to help, plan accordingly. And that's why my conviction stays strong. 50 cents, 70 cents Casper would be insane. I mean, yeah, true. Of course, if you got in the top, you're not happy with that. People want to see over a $2-3 Casper still. And is it possible? Who knows? Maybe. But from this current level, a 70 cents Casper will still be strong. 10x, that would still be good. I think it could go past that, personally. But, again, that's just me. Maybe I'm a bit too much of the optimist, I don't know. But, if you think about it, market cap-wise, 70 cents Casper, 50 cents Casper puts it at around a $12.5 billion market cap. 70 cents would put it around an 19 bill market cap. I think Casper could surpass 19 billion market cap. Look at it right now, 19 bill right now would put you at, number 11, just behind Cardano. And of course, that's only going to go up higher when the money starts coming back in again. So that could, you'll probably see top 20 will probably be probably 20 billion plus. So I think Casper could end up being top 20 this cycle again, personally. I'm just seeing a lot of Arsenal, Madrid. I mean, honestly, low-key, maybe because I'm an Arsenal hater, because my brother loves Arsenal, I want Madrid to win that. Just me personally, just to shut him up, Oh, but 10k Casper Madrid wins. Oh, no. Okay, maybe I take that back. Don't. Okay, no. Let's let Arsenal win now. Arsenal could lose to somebody else. It's fine. Not Madrid though. I don't want you to burn your Casper. BlackRock owns Casper. Have a think about that, people. They have mined it and didn't sell it. The CEO said they have it long term. Search for the video yourself. I mean, I will search for the video. I'd be surprised if I think did state that he holds Casper. But I know Marathon has mined Casper, and I know the largest shareholder of Marathon is BlackRock, so there is a correlation to that there. So in that regard, does BlackRock know of Casper? Yes, because Marathon would have had to ask BlackRock and their shareholders if they can start mining Casper. They would have said yes. So they do know of Casper, whether in depth or not, probably not in depth, but they do know of Casper. And for me, again, Casper's return and price rally will come in due time. Welcome back, Alyssa. Hope you're doing very, very well. Having a very good weekend so far. Hello, Jay. Just on my break at work, we're having a bit of a retracement. Wow. Working on a Sunday. Wow, what a trooper. Love to hear that, Alyssa. And yes, right now I have a bit of a retracement that is based off the fact that Mancha just went through a massive rug pull, and that's caused a lot of bear sentiment right now. That's Luna, not Mancha. But you see now it's making a recovery quite quickly, almost at $1 again. Actually, it's now surpassed $1 again. So look at that recovery already. It's coming back very quickly, but it dropped down to a $400 billion market cap. 400 million market cap after being at 800 billion or 600 billion earlier in just 2 hours. And equally, because there's a lot of still uncertainty in the tariff news right now, which is causing more uncertainty and therefore more corrections right now in the market. But again, that stuff is noise, but it's still worth taking into account for. But for me, long-term markets still look very, very bullish. We're going to get more regulatory clarity and frameworks coming through in the upcoming months, which will be great, and some also monetary policies like QE and rate cuts as well soon. that vlog will strengthen Casper further as people will fed up of memes and go back. I mean, yeah, the correction in Turbo and, you know, the massive pullback in Turbo and the rug in Mantra will indicate two big things for those who, you know, think a little bit more about it, which is that memes are inherently very, very risky. And if you don't want to have that risk, then, you know, you want to go for something that has more, you know, safety. And equally, proof of stakes like Mantra, despite Mantra being a big proof of stakes, also can just go to zero because they have pre-allocation. So therefore, how do you de-risk from that? You go to proof of works, Bitcoin. What else like Bitcoin? Casper. So Casper could also strengthen from that as well. I see Casper as a city in 2016. What a great analogy, DD. Oh my god, 2016 Leicester City was absolutely nuts. Oh my gosh, I'll remember that season like it was yesterday. My uncle supports Leicester actually, and I do still remember him just cheering, you know, running down the street, you know, when they won the Premier League. Oh my gosh, that was an insane season. Vardy, MVP. That guy is I'm not going to say the word, but I think people who are British know the word, the ultimate S-Housery. Ultimate S-H-I-T-Housery. He is absolutely a legend. I love him. He's a Brit through and through. And Vardy is insane. But yeah, that Leicester City team was insane. And yeah, I agree. I could agree, honestly, that Casper right now is the Leicester City of 2016. No one expects it. Where it comes out of the, you know, fighting relegation and comes out to rise the rankings and ends up winning in the end. And I think he can do that as well. Money and I, a YouTuber Casper fan, has dropped another video on Casper implying a potential parabolic move 3 hours ago. Money and I is a good channel. I enjoy watching him also. I have not seen Money and I, but I will give him a quick search. Shameless promo, so, you know, fair enough, but, you know, I'm not that bothered by that. Again, this is Money and I. Oh, yeah, I do. I actually know I have seen of him. Yeah, I think he's an upcoming channel. I say upcoming, he's got more subscribers than me, so he's not that upcoming. He's got more videos than me as well, so I guess no. I think he's more new to Casper, because I didn't hear him talk about Casper beforehand either, but yeah, Casper finally about to go parabolic, big news. I'll probably give it a watch, see what's happening. And look, even XCN here, like this is what, I mean, I made a video on XCN as well, I'll probably make another one as well, but XCN went through a very, very big rally very recently. So of course you jump on the bandwagon. Nothing against that at all. You've got to get your bag after all. But I mean, yeah, I'll probably watch that, but I mean, interesting to see, no doubt. But I think with that being said, that may end up concluding our live stream today. 4-year cycle is broken. Institutions change their playing field. Also, Solana is the disease to crypto. Murad is an idiot. Told people that the cycle is going to be a meme super cycle, saying degens have spoken, and decided what a piece of rubbish. And you know what? I do agree with you, Lieutenant. And I mean, and that's actually, and I'm not going to get too much into it because, again, that's the benefits you get from being the VIP in my community here. One of our institutional seminars, so we did a deep dive and looked into what a seminar that was from an institution, which is Signum Institution, and a seminar from them, where they covered the sentiment around Solana and Ethereum and Bitcoin, and they ultimately highlighted that hype's no longer a thing, and Solana's so big because of the meme coins. There was a meme coin bubble, but now we're getting into a cycle where fundamentals matter. Hype doesn't matter. That's why hype don't matter anymore. That's why AI agents are falling off, because no one knows the proper use case of AI right now. And equally, and even though it's going to come through, and the memes also falling off, the bubble bursted, and that's why Solana, and I'm going to, again, this is me giving shameless promo, but again, if you want to find out a lot more about it, you come check out the community here as well. Links in the description, also my homepage as well. But the information I'm going to find through my notes, you can hear me. Yeah, so Solana was conducting $45 million worth of revenue or transactions even every single day, or every single week even. 45 million when the meme cycle was popping, and now it's at 800,000. 45 million to 800,000. That is absolutely nuts. Now, will memes come back this cycle? Probably. But is it the meme coin super cycle? I disagree. You can still make money from memes. I mean, hell, I'm probably do it again as well. There's still opportunity to be made there. But, you know, fundamentals for me, I only would, you know, again, it's a casino. So it's just element of risk to reward, you know. I cried to the happiness of Madrid won from Man City last year. I mean, Man City just kept winning everything, you know. They kept winning everything. So, I'm low. It's quite. It's kind of like a nice breath of fresh air seeing that Man City right now losing just everything right now. I treat Man City the same way. I'm not sure who will get this reference, but I treat Man City right now as the Astralis of Counter-Strike, where they went on that massive, like, I think it was like 4 years when Astralis would win every single game. You couldn't win Nuke on Astralis ever, and then they lost to like Furia, and then everyone started trying to beat Astralis on Nuke, and it just kept working. But Astralis was so strong, man. I'm not sure who gets that reference. Counter-Strike, honestly, what a game. What a game. Yeah, Man City was similar to that, and now they're losing everything, and it makes me very happy as well. Why is my... Okay, my stream's like I said, my PC's just bricking right now. That's fantastic. I love my PC. Harold said something which I'm trying to load, but my whole thing's just bugging out. So I can't even load it. Grayscale Investments has recently removed Casper. Yes, yeah, we made a video on that as well. It does, yes. And we made a video on that. Okay, my PC is going to be... Okay, so I'm going to shut the stream off very, very soon because my PC is completely lagging right now. We can see it's taking literally forever to load anything right now. Yeah, I need that Casper money, to buy a new PC, honestly. When it loads, please. Okay, yeah, so... Video I made yesterday was speaking about Grayscale, who delisted Casper, and about how I believe they're still relatively... I feel like... I mean, yes, it sounds bearish, and they may be shifting away from Casper, but I am still the optimist, and I believe that there's still a possibility, maybe indicating they're about to list Casper, because, again, why would you move off Casper when it's about to go through a historic transformation? That's me personally, again, but, that's just me anyways. Astralis to go. So it is a man of culture, I see. Love that. Space Marine 2 is a good game. Are you a Warhammer fan, by the way? I am not. I think I delved in it a little bit when I was younger, but I never really got into it properly, unfortunately. But I mean, yeah, I do know a lot of people who in my immediate friend group who were very big on Warhammer. I know it's and Space Marine 2 as well. Also, those two games I've heard a lot of good stuff about. My favorite games that I do tend to play would be like Counter-Strike, a bit of Valorant, Rocket League, Civilization 6. What a banging game. I love that. XCOM. What a throwback. XCOM is insane. Honestly, anything that's just strategy game or first-person shooters, that was kind of my forte. Those two in particular. But yeah, what's your take on Cubic? Good question, Freebic. I have not looked too much into it. I've heard Shy put his 2 cents on it, and ultimately it's like... I think Cubic is one that may have potential. But I need to, if I'm being honest, I need to put a bit more research into it to give any fair judgment of it. If my PC doesn't brick, I'll try and load it up right now. But right now it is going through the motions. I've got too many tabs open right now. I think that's what it is. So yeah, Cubic, $141 million market cap, 4 million trading volume. It's got BitGet, which is good. That's a big exchange. Vested them on as big. Mexi Gate, still good, of course. Yeah, if I'm looking at the chart right now, it doesn't look very good. I think. Oh no, you know what? Actually, I'm thinking of QUAI. I'm not thinking of Bit. I'm thinking of something else entirely. I don't have a thesis right now on Cubic. I need to look more into it, so I'll do that for you if I can over the next couple of days or so, and give a better breakdown of what Cubic actually is. It was not going to be a deep dive information, so it'll still be a bit, lackluster. But I mean, again, right now, sentiment right now seems to be very, very bullish on it, so maybe it's worthwhile looking into. I can't say for sure. It's a very, very small asset. It's just of a micro cap. Anything under 100 million market cap is a micro cap. It's just above that. So if you were to allocate into it, I mean, from all-time highs, price wise, look at market cap, even market cap wise, it's about 3-4x all-time highs. So there's 4x in there as well. Again, we'll have to wait and see. I think it maybe it's worth looking into. I'll look into it off stream and see what I can find out about it. But that being said, thank you everyone for watching today's Casper and Crypto live stream and Mantra rug pull in real time. FUD seems to be very, very high right now. Definitely a cause for concern, but don't be emotional. Logical things are the plan's not changed. Things still doing very, very well, and If you want to find out a lot more about crypto marketing, come check out the VIP group, where we're actually discussing more and more about the space and what's coming through, and our conviction's getting stronger and stronger as a result of it. So come check that out. If you want to know about if you want to have a free community, come check out the free Discord server as well, where we talk about crypto and Casper as well, and other elements as well to give us understanding of the space in more detail called the VIP group, but it's still there as well. If you enjoyed, as always, feel free to leave a like, share with us for more. Thank you again very much, Tony, for the donations. Absolute legend. Have a great day, good evening, and good night, everybody. And I will see you all in the next one. I would load more comments saying thank you and everything right now, but my piece is literally breaking right now, so I can't. I apologize, but thank you very much again for watching, and I will see you all tomorrow. Take care now.